why I decided to move forward and invest in coaching with you was I felt like my life was somewhat of a revolving door. I would make progress on goals, personal business goals, for a few weeks, a few months, and then it would go right back into falling into a hole, so to speak. And there was a lot of things that I was going through. I mean, I was 30 years old and it just wasn't clicking. There's just something that wasn't working. I work in a business where I own my own business, and it's 100% commission. And living with my wife and trying to start a life without having consistent income adds a lot of stress and frustration. Obviously, what I was doing and trying to do it on my own wasn't working. I think the biggest reason why I started, to invest in coaching and working with you is because it was the first conversation that we had, to be honest with you. When we had a conversation, it was nothing about business at first. It was all about me and where I'm at in life and what I'm looking to accomplish and where I'm getting held up. Ultimate reason why I decided to invest in coaching is I wanted my life to change, and I just felt that I was at a point where I couldn't do it myself. The coaching has given me the tools, the resources, and the confidence to be unforgivably myself and not feel shame or embarrassment or frustration or anything. Just live. I wanted to change. I wanted to change my life. Is why I invested in coaching. I didn't have any doubts in the coaching. It was more having doubts within myself. I have done programs in the past. It was me. Just there'd be times of my life where I was super focused, really aligned with what I was looking to do, and I'd start crushing it, start making money, and the second I'd start doing well, right back down the bunny hole of substance abuse and making poor decisions and not working. And if you want to make changes in life, you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in your business. And from where I wanted a complete 180, and I knew that I was going to have to either try to figure out how to do it on my own, which wasn't working prior, or it's time to invest in myself and my future, and spend the money to get the tools and the resources and get guided the right way. And even still, when we first started our sessions, there was some things where I said I was going to do them and I didn't. And to me, that was like, oh, well, here I go again. I'm not going to follow through on things. But you didn't let me, you didn't let me fail. And even if I did, it's not failing, it's learning. And it's just learning more about myself. I am setting the sails of my life. No one else is in control of my life besides me. And yeah, the demons are still there, and they're always going to be there. The pain, the uncertainty will always be there. And I know how to deal. I know how to deal with it. I was so afraid of myself and my own anger. And shit, man, that's my power. And I freaking love it now. I get angry at least once or twice a day, and it's because I want to. I love it. I love the feeling, and I know how to. I don't want to say control. It's like I almost know how to let go, not control. Most people aren't crazy. They just don't have access, and they just don't know what they don't know. I mean, I could tell you that this past year has been a freaking 180 turnaround. I utilize the tools. I lean into the pain, and that stuff I used to just avoid, and I just thought that's what life was. It's not. Life is whatever the hell you want it to be. So I'm a financial advisor. Work 100% on commission. So, part of my job is outreach, a lot of outreach. And in the field, wasting time because you're not talking to the right audience. You haven't identified your ideal client yet. Through coaching, my whole business has changed. I've identified my ideal client. I work strictly through natural market and referrals now because I have the confidence to know the right questions to ask at the right times. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to control anything. I know I can help people, and they could feel it. And if they could feel me and they could feel my heart, then yeah, we're going to be a great fit to work together. I could tell you this year, let's say perfect timing, June 1st, 50% through the year. I've probably worked a lot less than I did last year, and I've already made more than 60% of the money I did last year. So, and it's not gonna slow down, I can tell you that much. This momentum, all from coaching and confidence, this momentum is it's downhill. The snowball effect has happened, and I'm just building my relationships with the right people, with the right audiences now. So it's given me the confidence to be able to do that, and two, it's allowed me to just be myself, and people buy me. They don't buy what I do, they buy who I am, and it's allowed me to be okay with that and tell my story. A lot. So I used to think I could handle it all. I used to think that, if I didn't want anybody to feel pain around me, I didn't want anybody to ever be uncomfortable. So I would always take people's pain. I would take their shame, their embarrassment, because I could handle it. I don't want you to feel that way. I could handle it. And it's one of the most selfish things in the world, thinking that, these individuals can't handle it. Oh, I'm better than it. At the end of the day, though, I didn't know how to deal with my own personal self. I was running away. I was constantly avoiding the pain. I was constantly avoiding who I really am. And, I think some of that had to do with fear of, maybe potentially losing personal relationships. I think it was a little bit of fear of the actual level of success that I'm shooting for. Yeah, I used to run away from everything. I used to run away from my own feelings. I used to not want to feel feelings because I didn't know how to deal with them. So, I would poison and dull my mind anytime I used to feel emotion, whether it was sad, whether it was angry, whether it was even super freaking happy. I just felt that, I didn't know how to deal with my emotions, and because I've run from them for so long, that was probably the bulk of the work that I've done so far in coaching is just peeling back the layers of who I am, and then, forgiving myself and learning who I am. And you're going to get dealt a deck of cards, and you got to learn how to play the cards, because your cards are not going to change. How you play that round, how you play that hand, that can be all the difference in the world. It's improved my personal relationship with my wife. It's improved my relationship with my family and my friends. And one of the biggest things, I was just afraid of the feelings. One of the biggest things last year was my bachelor party and my wedding. And, I'm someone who happens to like attention. I like being the center of the room, but not maybe so much when it's like praise, so to speak. Like, I like the attention. And I was actually afraid of how I would deal with everybody being there for me. Prior, I would have been pushing it off. I would have, not really realized the love that was there. But through coaching, I was able to feel it and experience that feeling of love. And I got to tell you what, my life's on fire. I love feeling my emotions now. Like, that is what life is about, is feeling. It is about feeling what's going on. And I used to just completely dull that side out. I love myself for the first time in my life. Never loved myself ever. I've never had any. I always thought raw talent. Yeah, I have it. Yeah, I could bullshit with the best of them. That'll bring me places. But I never really had the fake, the facade of confidence. But yeah, I didn't believe in myself at all. I ran from opportunities in the past because I was afraid I was going to get it, and I wasn't going to be able to handle it, and I was going to let everybody down and myself down. And I believe in myself, and I've never experienced that in my life. And I got to tell you, if you are watching this video and you do feel stuck, you need to love yourself. You need to forgive yourself. And the only way you're going to do it is through coaching. So that's what I got to say about the personal life. It's amazing. It's on fire. Give it a shot. What do you have to lose? And I challenge you to do the mind scan, because that'll blow your freaking lid off. I've done the mind scan probably 4 or 5 times now over the time of us working together, and I'm still mind blown every freaking time. But that first time was, give it a shot. Just try it. Do the mind scan. Let John tell you exactly who you are as a person, because you're going to be mind blown by how that works. And it's the starting point. It's the foundation to, this is who you are. Now we got to learn how to play the hand. We know what your cards are now. How do we play the hand? You read all the self-help books in the world. You could read all the personal development books in the world. Unless you have an action plan, accountability, it's pointless. You're not doing anything. And yes, you pay for coaching. I think it's more of an investment, but your coach holds you accountable. Life becomes life when you actually feel. When you don't feel, you're not living. And I could tell you there was a good portion of my life that I wasn't living.